Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the August 15th meeting to order, and we'll start with a salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Galloway, can you call the roll, please?
Aaron Mullen. John Palmer. Jeff Brasky.
Here.
Jeff Dents. And I am here.
Let the record show that Mr. Dents and Ms. Mullen had prior engagements tonight. I would like to start tonight. We have a presentation of national awards from veterans of foreign wars. It's being presented to retired officer John Yeager and firefighter Brian Huber tonight. You guys can come up.
Good evening. Officers of Falls Township, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be here tonight to present prestigious awards to our first responders that are well deserving of this award. This award is not given to everybody. As department commander of the largest combat veterans organization, we have 425 posts in the state of Pennsylvania. Levittown, post 6495, has been one of those posts that submitted this award. And it comes from the post level, then it goes to the district to be voted on, and then it goes to the department. And there's 25 districts in the state of Pennsylvania where they select the top in Pennsylvania. And then it goes to national, which they compete with 55 other states or departments. And so therefore, this is an award that is well deserving, and it tells me something. It tells me that we have the best in Falls Township. Okay? That's what I see. Okay? And once again, if I can have John come up. And then this is from my boss. So I'm here representing the Commander-in-Chief of Veterans of Foreign Wars. Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States National Law Enforcement Award, awarded to Police Officer John Yeager in recognition and sincere appreciation of his dedication and selfless service to the Falls Township Police Department. During John Yeager's outstanding career, he has maintained a record of highly professional, exemplary service to the community and to the nation. His extraordinary commitment clearly illustrates the proud core values and traditions of the law enforcement profession. Further highlighted by the degree of admiration and respect of both his peers and the local public he serves. Also, John Yeager is truly an exemplary example of all who wear the badge of this honor reflects the proud ideals and high standards of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States. In witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands on the official seal of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States. Signed by Prince Mihalchek, Commander-in-Chief, Adjutant General Kevin Jones. Congratulations. This is the National Firefighter Award that I'm about to present to Brian Huber. In recognition of the utmost appreciation of his dedication and self-service to the Levittown Fire Company, number one, during Brian Huber's outstanding career, he has displayed an exceptional record of exemplary and courageous service to the community and to the nation. His extraordinary commitment is in keeping with the esteemed core values and traditions of the firefighter profession. Further manifested by the high degree of admiration and respect of both his peers and the local public he serves. Firefighter Brian Huber is truly a role model for all firefighters, and this honor reflects the proudest ideals of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States. In witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands on the official seal of the veterans of foreign wars of the United States. Signed by Richard Helchek, Commander-in-Chief, Adjutant General Kevin Jones. Congratulations. Sure.
Commander up here.
Okay. All right. You want them up too?
The what?
You just want,
Oh, yeah, the three is right. Come on.
Just the three of them.
Come on, get in here.
Come on. One on each side.
Besides him, I gotta use a wider lens.
Okay.
Now, if you would just let the DFW members and the auxiliary to come up there. One shot. Go. Please.
This is my last picture. You got it.
Wait a minute.
Rich, move in a little. I think I got it. I'm holding my breath. Thank you for your patience.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Good stuff, good stuff.
And if I may, I'd be remiss if I didn't identify some important people with me. The presence this evening, I have our department Senior Vice President of the VFW Auxiliary, Mary Jean Bedire Bastridge.
Hey.
And my chief of staff for last year, and our past department commander, Ben Mastard Sr. And I have my state assistant sergeant at arms, James Ritchie. And department president, Brenda Johnson. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the chaplain of the year for the Department of Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much.
I don't have a formal proclamation, nothing in print, but what I do want to present you with is a small token, a pin. I'm sure you've seen the paper copies, and you probably made your donation into the cans. This is a copy pin, and if I may, I'd like to pin you.
He's tough. You can poke him.
Are you aware of the symbolism of this little pin? Okay. Okay, that's all right. This little pin, this little red pin, and you, as most of you have probably seen the paper one and made a donation for it occasionally. And it is symbolic of the bloodshed by our veterans. So this hobby has a lot of meaning for a lot of people, and the money raised goes to serving our veterans who served us.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll just take a 2-minute recess while the room clears out.
Morrisville. I'm here this evening on behalf of working class renters to talk about the need for affordable and attainable housing in Lower Bucks, particularly in the matter of municipality rent control. I'm a renter and resident here for almost 10 years come next year. While programs like BRA and Bonus for Bucks have been helpful for keeping tenants housed, the issue of inflation and rising rents with stagnating wages persists. Eventually, we will reach a fever pitch that we can ignore no longer, and fewer people will be able to afford living here in Bucks County, or will suffer the unfortunate circumstances of many in the county who are unhoused on the street or in motels on waiting lists for new places to live. I do enjoy the motto of Falls Township I've seen going around, live here, spend here. I don't think that motto is always so welcoming to the renters versus homeowners here in Lower Bucks. There is a stigma against renters, and those who live in affordable housing or wish for affordable housing are often seen as a drain or a problem in the community just because they can't afford to buy a house. Affordable attainable housing proposals are frequently getting shut down by local municipalities, with many homeowners saying, "Not in my backyard," making assumptions about lower income people being undesirable, not really realizing how that pushes people out who simply need to afford to live. Homeowners may have the access to generational wealth and stable income to weather the storm of financial upset. It's becoming clearer for those of us who live here and spend here without those privileges that we are not welcome. The median monthly gross residential rent in Bucks County was $1,257 in 2019, according to the Census ACS survey. Apartments in Falls Township range anywhere from $1,200 at the low end to $1,700 or more. And each year, since there's no state mandated rent control, landlords can continue to increase that amount at will by sometimes $100, $200, $300 or more a year, particularly if they wish to shift out tenants who are lower income, to the point where only the privileged can afford to live here and no one else. People often have to work more than 2 or 3 jobs to keep food on the table and pay rent, and their anxieties are valid and need of relief. I did speak to the folks at Housing Link recently, and I have learned that rent control can be enacted at the municipal level. That means you have the power to help curb the tide of housing inflation right here, right now. I request that you would be open to meeting with me in the near future to discuss how we can make Falls more affordable for the residents who wish to live here, work here, and spend here. I think rent control would be incredibly viable for this region, continue to make it affordable, and I don't think landlords are going to lose a cent of money from the rent they're already making off of us. I look forward to discussing this possibility with you, as I think it would be a significant positive change for many renters who do enjoy to live here in Falls Township. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you'd like to just forward your comments tonight and any other information you have, you could forward it to our manager, and he'll send it to the Board of Supervisors for us to read over again. Thank you. Appreciate you coming out. Next up is Ian Hyrock. Did I get it right at all or no?
It's a Highcock,
Okay.
Old English name. Good evening, board. My name is Ian Highcock. I'm also a renter in Falls Township and from 1 Wakefield Road. I had a question about the township inspections of residential rental properties that I think have to occur once every year for new tenants or once every 3 years. And I wondered if you, in the case of like a multi-family dwelling, would that 1 year for new tenants apply, or would it be because there's just so many new tenants per year? Is it more of a 3 year for the renewal inspections for the renewal of the rental license?
Mr. Takita handles the inspection. He can help you out.
The annual inspections are for all rental units, whether they're
Okay.
single-family residential or
Okay.
in an apartment complex.
Yeah, we got an email from our complex saying that the township inspections for commons at Fallsington were postponed until further notice, and I don't know if you had any information of why that was the case and when those inspections will resume.
Yeah, I'm not aware of why they would send a letter out like that. There hasn't been any delay in any of the, the scheduling of inspections on our end. I'll look into when you're scheduled.
Okay, would that be something to forward that information to you? Or?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be terrific.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Did you have anything, John? You okay? All right. I'm going to screw this one up, definitely. So I'm sorry. It looks like Derry. It's not, though.
It looks like Jerry. You know
Okay.
me, I'm Terry Sterling.
Yeah.
Do I have to say where I'm from?
Yes.
Okay. Because I have some radical neighbors that moved in. I have issues for Mr. Takita, who never returned my 2 emails and phone calls. I'm Terry Sterling with some code issues in the neighborhood. We have, first of all, the fence behind 93 Makefield Road, the open space shopping center, where my mother worked from 1960 to 1980. John Petrucci promised us a fence, and the fence looks like World War I. I believe my neighbor, Mrs. LaBella, called and spoke to Rose tonight or today, and someone in your office promised a investigator to come out and look, maybe the engineer, to look at the dilapidated fence. It's on the side of the property, and we would certainly like to have Mr. Petrucci replace it from 101 to 107. I have my own PVC fence, but we went back 5 feet away from the property. There were sewer rats there when the drugstore was there. So we have this rodent problem. We have mice next door to me because the gentleman's not elevating his wood. It's all over the patio, stacked way high to the roof. I don't know how high his roof is. He also has wood on this lady's property, on the side, in the back, and Makala, whatever his name is from code, Jim, I can't pronounce his last name. He was there once or twice, and they just disregarded the wood that's in the backyard. We have a lot of mice infestation. We have a zip line also in that backyard, and I talked to Pat DeFrancesco months ago, and she didn't know that there was an ordinance for a zip line for toddlers to be hanging upside down with no helmets. I don't know if we're allowed to have zip lines in Falls Township, but I would like that to be investigated, and I'll share the address with you in private. We have speeding. I asked for the speed monitoring device recently. I didn't get that delivered by Officer McShane. Very seldom do I see patrol cars addressing the speeding. We have a curfew, 10 o'clock. We have adolescents out there throwing apples at anybody, anywhere, up in the street, screaming. They're also visiting this park we just mentioned to Brian earlier, behind 93 Makefield Road. They're out there after 10, young ladies and young men, and they're hanging out at Sports Pizza. But I'm told the officers can't track them down. We have the illegal motorized vehicles. Little kids, they look like they're 8 years old, no helmets, just racing down the street. Someone's going to get killed. And I'm not sure about this daycare center. We're speculating on that, but we have up to 15 kids in the same backyard in the property where the zip line is. And I've referred to the state for that, illegal daycare. Speculation, which hasn't been proven yet. Up to 15 children at any given time. It's not fair, it's not right, and it's not just for all of these things to be going on. And this elderly woman, my mother told me to take care of when my mother died 2.5 years ago. We're harassed, we're stared at, and they just don't want the older people to get involved with what their lifestyle is all about. And all this stuff going on in the neighborhood, it was never like that before, and I'm not accepting it. So I'd really appreciate the board. I'll give you these notes and I'll share it in private, the addresses. And I'd really like something done, especially the fence though, replaced, because that's an eyesore right now. He just put a $100,000 roof, I'm guessing the amount, but the fence replaced to those properties would enhance more business coming in next to the bagel store. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? No? Motion to close public comment.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 2 is certificate of appropriateness for 16 Yardley Ave. Replace existing shed with new 8-foot by 8-foot shed. Mr. Takita? Pretty cut and dry.
Yes, it's at the August meeting, the Harbor Board approved this request, and is now before you to sign the certificate of appropriateness.
Questions or comments from the board?
No, it looks good.
Nothing, John?
Nothing, it's just an improved shed. It's about the same size.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the replacement of existing shed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, is there any public comment? I'm sorry. I'm new at this. No public comment. Item number 3, Air Liquide, conceptual discussion for a proposed use of the property at 51 Middle Drive. Go on.
I'm not prepared to present anything to you right now. I thought I was coming in to answer some questions, but I'm curious what those questions are. So
We didn't get any documentation at all to even have any questions. It was supposed to be presented to us, I
Okay.
think.
I did bring some things if you'd like to review them tonight, if you want to establish a meeting.
Do you have
time.
anything to put up on the board, or?
I brought my laptop. If I could put it on there, I could do that. I have paper copies as well to circulate.
Mr. Takita, how should we proceed?
Conceptual.
If you don't have anything prepared at this point in time, if you want to just send me, I know you had sent some previously, and provide a narrative for the board, I can push that out in an email to the board so they have an idea of an overview.
Okay.
In my email discussion with, I think it was you and another individual, you were supposed to do a presentation here, so just give them an idea, an overview of what was being
Okay.
proposed.
I could give a presentation tonight if you like. I have it queued up on my laptop.
Sure, let's.
Oh, okay, then that's great.
yeah,
If you want to
let's-
leave it till the end to get other business out of the way, that's okay.
Yeah, let's just, because it's just for us, it's just a discussion for the proposed use. So how about just telling us a little about what you guys have going on?
Okay, so Air Liquide is a worldwide industrial gases supplier. Long-term company, been in business for more than 100 years, started in France. The division I work in serves the semiconductor industry. So the chip shortage, the chips bill, every device you have has something in it that we built, or that we provided somebody to use to make chips with. We have a facility on Steel Road West that's been in operation for excess of 25 years. We purchased it from a company, I forget who it was, but it's been in our control and management for more than 20 years now. And the industry's growing. We serve the big names, Intel, Motorola, TSMC, Samsung, on and on and on and on. And they're all wanting more and more product that we sell. The product that we sell is industrial gases. A complementary part of our company sells them large cryogenic bulks. Nitrogen, liquid argon, liquid oxygen. Our entity serves the specialty gases side, so packaged gases and cylinders that you typically see. Some are of a hazardous nature, and our job is to make sure that those things are under control and managed properly. And what we'd like to do with this facility is grow a little bit to serve our customers up through the end of this decade at least. And what we're proposing to do is to, right off the bat, put in a larger parking lot so that we can house cars for some of our employees now. We have two new process areas that we would like to build. One is called dichlorosilane, one is called silane. And then we'd also like to build a new analytical lab. Those three projects I mentioned, those four projects I just mentioned, we'd like to break ground on those this year if we could. And we would plan to complete them by the end of next year. In addition to that, because the staff at the site is growing to support these new product areas, to support our customers better. Our customers are very demanding, especially in the quality realm. We need to bring in more people. We'd like to grow our administration building as well. Not sure about the size yet that we would like to make it go to, but we have plans to do a facility siting survey, conceptual site plan, excuse me, to develop the optimal size of the building. In addition to that, we'd like to maybe do some consolidation. We have some older equipment that was optimized for size years ago. The tank sizes of our cryogenic supplies are smaller now for us. We'd like to put a bigger tank system on the backside of the property so that we can supply our factories with nitrogen and argon and the products that we use to make our gases with. So that's a very, very high level of what projects we'd like to do. We've supplied with the township with kind of a site concept plan for these expandable areas. A new production building is being thought about as well. Not sure exactly where it'll go, but we would like to start off by submitting an application for permit approval to build a larger parking lot, because today we have an issue with parking. And then we'd also like to quickly move into permit submissions for a dichlorosilane transfill process, a silane transfill process, and a new gas phase analytical lab. These are all going to be indoor structures, or indoor activities mostly. Silane's outside, but brings a lot of technical folks into the area, and we'd like to grow this site. We have the opportunity probably to build a facility in another state, just because we have critical mass here. The managerial and administrative side is not easy to put together for a business like this. We'd like to keep it all in this area. So
Thank you.
that's what we'd like to do. Any questions?
If you, so he forwarded, our office has conceptual,
I can give you paper copies of site plans tonight, of a site plan. It's just one sheet.
yeah.
If you'd like to have a paper copy, and I can also forward it electronically.
Yeah, electronic would be better, because Brian's on Zoom and Aaron and Jeff aren't here, so
Okay.
if you could do that electronically, that would be,
Would you like the paper as well?
you can leave the papers in case anybody in the
Okay.
audience would want one.
Will do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
So,
Hold on.
Mr. Boraski, if I could just say one thing.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any plans, but a lot of what you were discussing sounds like it's going to require land development and not just permits. So if you're hoping to break ground by the end of the year, I would think that you would probably want to be getting some engineered plans and an application submitted to the township as quickly as possible. The site plans that you're giving us now may allow us to make a determination as to whether or not it's going to require land development and not just permits. But the land development process is a 90 to 120 to 150 day process. So we'll be able to take a look at this and possibly be able to determine, but you may want to look at as to whether or not it's going to require land development.
Okay,
No?
all right, thank you.
You can hand them to me. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is.
Item number 4, Lux Industries conditional use hearing. That item will be continued to the September's meeting. Lauren, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Boraski. We did receive a request from the applicant to continue the matter from tonight's meeting to the September 19th, 2022 meeting. He received some feedback at the Planning Commission, and he is working on revising his plans accordingly. So if the board is of mind, we would suggest tabling this to September 19th, 2022 at 7 p.m. in this room.
Do we have to vote on that?
Yes.
Okay. So is there a motion to continue this agenda item to the September meeting? It was September 19th?
Correct.
To September 19th meeting.
Second. I think
Brian,
we're on
Mr. Galloway, you're muted, but he made the motion. Mr. Palmer seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Item number 5, consider authorization for re-advertisement for the Rice Drive Culvert Replacement Project.
Thanks, Mr. Boraski. So we did advertise the Rice Drive Culvert Replacement Project, and we received no bids. There were 2 plan holders. It was General Asphalt and ABC Construction. They both indicated that they were interested in bidding on the project. However, scheduling and timing of when the project went out to bid didn't work for them. So we're looking at re-advertising. That would push us to a mid-October construction start. And with a 60-day construction timeframe, we'd be looking at wrapping up construction by the end of the year.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
No question.
No question.
Any questions from anyone else? All right, is there a motion to re-advertise?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 6, consider proposal from ECONSULT Solutions, Inc. for earned income tax. Mr. Takita? Okay.
The board is being asked to consider a proposal from eConsult Solutions Incorporated to update its 2014, or to update the township's 2014 EIT study. This study will be done in 2 phases. First phase fee would be $8,000. Phase 2 would cost $12,000.
So this is just a township contracting with a company to do, to run numbers for us?
That's correct.
Okay. Is there any questions from the board?
No.
No.
Any questions from anyone else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to contract with eConsult Solutions.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 7, consider cyber liability quotes for the Falls Township Municipal Building. Mr. Takita?
The board is being asked to approve the cyber liability quote from Travelers Insurance. The cyber risk aggregate limit with a cyber risk aggregate limit of $3 million. The total policy premium would be $26,495.
So, Mr. Takita, just a real quick question, but more of a comment. In the last year or 2 years, it's been kind of a big thing, right, municipal-wide, for municipalities. We've been fortunate here.
Yes,
We do a pretty good job, but other local municipalities haven't been so lucky, correct?
That's correct. And the last year's application for the cyber liability was 1 page. This year, when we applied, it was, I think it was like 6 pages long. So the cyber risk has increased tremendously. Insurance companies are seeing that, and they've upped all the requirements for this.
Okay. Questions from the board?
No questions.
Was this the only company we got a proposal from?
No, we had reached out, I believe we had 6 different quotes come in, and Travelers came with the best numbers.
And our security or our computer IT support company, are they okay with this technology or coverage?
Yes, they actually, they helped us fill out the application.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Any questions from residents? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor to approve the quote from Travelers for cyber liability? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 8, consider professional services contract between Falls Township and 699 Bristol Partners LLC. Mr. Takita, is that you again?
Yes. So the board is being asked to consider a professional service contract between Falls Township and 699 Bristol Partners LLC. This is an ongoing project that is requiring both engineering and legal consultation with the township before they submit for their formal land development. The fees that are in this document will cover the cost of their work until we enter into a developer's agreement.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay. Entertain a motion to consider professional services contract between Falls Township and 699 Bristol Partners.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 9, consider professional services contract between Falls Township and IEI Architects, Inc. Mr. Takita.
The board is being asked to consider a professional service contract with IEI Architects for the design and construction management of the Township Municipal Complex renovations.
Okay, so IEI is working on a new design for interior design and exterior facade design for the township property. Pretty exciting. The township is always open, and we've offered tours of the building, and for some people that sit in here, it's kind of you can hear it and see it. Sometimes we've had tiles fall out and the water leaks, and sometimes the heat will shut off in the winter. But what you see here is probably a really nice part of the township building, where the employees are working on every day and day to day. It's it really needs some help, and in my opinion will help with with morale, for lack of better terms. It's just will be a better environment to come to work and a healthier environment to come to work for some people. So we're excited to see what IEI can bring to the table, and what their designs. Mr. Takita's been working on it for months for us and with us, and we have really nice conceptual drawings now, and it's just going to be a nice place to be in the township, and definitely we need it here. So do you guys have any questions regarding IEI at all?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm excited for them to keep moving ahead and taking the vision of the board and employees and the taxpayers and the community. They're really striving to give us what we're looking for, so I'm excited.
Mr. Galloway?
It's just long overdue. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Okay, was there any questions from anybody here tonight? All right. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 10, consideration of resolution authorizing entry into an intergovernmental agreement with Lawrence Township, New Jersey regarding cooperative emergency services. Mr. DiPolito, you want to take this, buddy? Sure. All right.
This is just a intergovernmental agreement between Lawrence Township and Falls Township for providing fire services across state lines. Different companies go over to Lawrence Township quite often, and this will be reciprocating, coming back for them to come over here.
Rich, just for people that don't know, can you, how many years have this been going on? Because I know it's been happening, but it's been a long time, correct?
It's been years. I mean,
Yeah.
we've gone to Jersey as long as I've been in the fire company.
Yeah.
And this is just a formality, just an agreement. I'm sure the attorneys can explain a little bit better what it entails, but it's just a coverage thing to go back and forth.
All right. And on the Lawrence Township side, they're doing the same thing we're doing. They'll be having a meeting and then they'll be signing the same as us. Okay.
We'll send it back, yep,
Okay.
they'll sign it and be all good.
Okay.
It's a mutual aid agreement that provides that each municipality maintains its own insurance and that all liability stays with the municipality from where so the firemen from Falls are insured in Falls and vice versa.
And we've done this already with the city of Trenton,
Yeah.
so.
And this is regarding our volunteer fire department.
Correct.
Okay. And mostly because we cover the workers' comp on that, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Questions?
Yeah, what is the difference, not so much for you, Rich, but what is the difference between our police force going over to assist without this document versus the fire services going over?
I don't want to interrupt you, but I thought we had this in place for the police.
I think we do,
Yeah.
and I know we have a broad cooperation agreement for the police services for the entire southeastern Pennsylvania region, and I think we have the same thing with the general New Jersey region that we would be near. I
Okay.
believe we do have that in place.
Thank you. I'm good, thank you.
Mr. Galloway?
No questions, thank you.
Okay, anyone else have any questions? All right, if not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 And this is, that was resolution
I'm sorry.
2022-21.
Do we have to vote on that?
Oh, sorry, 22, yeah, it's 2022-22, sorry.
You do not have to revote.
We're okay, okay. All right, item number 11, consideration of resolution to establish a fuel reimbursement policy for volunteer fire police officers. Ms. Gallagher.
Certainly. So this policy would allow, in situations where there are volunteer fire police that are helping out at a scene that lasts for 2 or more hours, it would allow that individual to submit reimbursement requests to its fire company, who could then seek reimbursement for the township at a rate of, I think it was 1 gallon per hour, for any event that's over 2 hours in which they're helping the township.
Yeah. I don't have any questions. I know that, we work together collectively on this it's, in my opinion, least we can do for these guys. Like, we're talking some couple gallons of gas. And most of the time they're called out by probably a sergeant on duty, for accident scenes that they have to consider, the road being shut down for multiple hours, and these guys are out there in their personal cars blocking traffic, so that they can get the road cleaned up and the cops can continue to patrol. So, I don't have any questions. You guys have anything you want to add? Or?
You said everything perfectly. The guys that are giving us everything, we want to at least pay for their gas, so.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell.
Mr. Galloway?
No, it sounds great.
Anyone have any questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Rich, appreciate your help on that, and Ms. Gallagher too, thank you. Item number 12, Parks and Recreation report. Mr. Andrews?
Evening.
Good evening.
Good to see everyone again. I appreciate the opportunity to come up and kind of give you a recap and what's going on this summer and where we're going, going here into the fall. So I appreciate the opportunity. I believe you have a report, to look at, but I'll just recap things quickly. We finished our summer camp program on July 29th. It was a very successful camp. We had 145 campers, 85-90% new staff this year, a lot of first jobs, some growing pains on both ends, but kids came through it tremendously, and we look forward to next year, implement some more preseason trainings, and I think next year's camp's going to be even better. So I'm really excited going forward. Pinewood Pool, I'll move on to that. We're still in pool season. We have 3 more weeks to go. We have some good news. Our revenues and memberships and guest fees have far surpassed our projections. Membership revenue has exceeded projections thus far by 25 to 30% where we thought we would be. Guest fees, I believe, will come in around 15% above where we should be. So the revenue, the memberships have grown. I ran some numbers today. My first year in 2014, we had roughly 1,800 individuals at the pool. This year we have over 2,400. So it's grown tremendously over the years. Really happy about that. I think we're doing some things well by doing that. And I anticipate, going forward, we're going to get more members even next year. That's the good news. The bad news is, we're not immune to the nationwide lifeguard shortage. This year, we hired 14 lifeguards. Now I'm down to 13. I had a resignation over the weekend. And half our staff are college kids. So what's happening in the next few days, the college kids are going back. So we are basically be working with the skeleton staff the next couple weeks. I think we'll get through it. This is more for in the future. I think we have to really amp our recruitment of younger kids to become lifeguards. I think there's a lot we can do. The obvious thing we need to do is to raise the pay. So we have to compete with the retails, the other pools in the area. We're not the lowest, but we're not the highest. I think another incentive that would go a long way would be to cover the cost of the certification for a lifeguard. A lifeguard certification is typically 2 years, and the kids have to put that money out of their own pocket typically, and that's the cost of a certification class, about $360. So my idea is to offer an incentive. Since it's a 2-year cert, you work a summer for us, we reimburse you 50%. You work the other summer, you get the other 50%. And then we would cover the cost of research, which is about half the cost of a cert going forward, as long as they're with us. I think that'll go a long way. Obviously, we can do some differential hourlies on after-hour, events and stuff like that. So I think we kind of throw the kitchen sink at everything next year.
Yeah.
I think that's where we got to go, and I think we really have to reach out to the school districts also, the boards, the school boards, local school boards. After COVID, a lot of lifeguard certification classes stopped. There's not many around. The only ones around are 3-day certification classes. The Chamonix Aquatics used to run a 9-week program. Pennsbury did the same thing. They both do not do that right now. So I think I want to write them a letter and hopefully with board support, see if they can kind of jump in on that. Employ local kids, good jobs, safety comes first. Having said that, staff's done a tremendous job this year with a smaller staff. We've had multiple saves this year in the pool. Fortunately, they were all minor, but minor have become major very quickly. So between Public Works getting that pool ready every day, they do a phenomenal job. The lifeguards, managers, gate guards, it's been a great summer. So 3 more weeks, we'll get done. So that's where we're at with the pool. Going forward into the fall, we have some programs coming up. Our annual children's kickball program for children ages 7 to 11. We hold that down at the Levittown Continental Little League Complex on a Challenger field. This is kind of a low competitive, it's like pickup Yes, kickball, schoolyard kickball. It's a lot of the kids that aren't necessarily registered for soccer, basketball, fall baseball. We get a good turnout each year, like 15 to 20 kids. It's fun. I think Jeff's son played one year with us over there. It was fun. So looking forward to that. We just went live with that today for registration. So that's coming up. Indoor yoga, that's a program that we do year round. It runs in 6-week intervals, 6 sessions, 6-week sessions. That's been doing tremendous. We hold that over at the senior center. We have about 10 or 11 consistent members there. So, we're doing really well with that. That's grown too. It used to be 3 or 4. So since we've been in the senior center, it's been a great fit for us. And then going into September, we have a 2-day event, Friday the 16th and Saturday the 17th, a big weekend. Friday night's going to be a food truck festival with a live band, the 7 band, a local band playing, and we're going to have a beer garden also that night. So looking for about 5 or 6 food trucks for that night. And then Saturday, we're combining the Touch a Truck and the Family Festival, making that one big event. That's from 9 to 2. 9 to 10 a.m. is a quiet hour for children with sensory. It's a sensory-friendly hour. We think we're combining both events this year. We're going to have bounce houses, food and drink, the police vehicles, construction vehicles. We all know how popular it's going to be. I'm looking forward to that. For this event, for any table vendors or sponsors, just give us a call in our office at 215-949-9000, extension 221, and we'll get you set up. So then moving forward, beginning of August, we have our Medicare information workshop. These Medicare information workshops have been very, very, very important to people getting close to getting on Medicare. As you might, when you get on Medicare, I think people think Medicare covers everything. It does not. The gentleman that runs these free workshops really kind of explains the ins and outs of that, and we've gotten really good feedback from people that have come to these workshops. So the next one's on October 6th from 6 to 8:30 right here in the public meeting room. And just give me a call or email me if you want to register. And finally, we have a new event in October, a community yard sale that's going to benefit the Fallsington Library. I'd like to thank Teresa for helping out with that. It's going to be a community yard sale. It'll go from 9 to 1 at the Falls Township Community Park. We're going to give preference to Falls Township residents to reserve a table through September 15th first, IDEA community. Then after that, we'll open it up to, outside, from outside townships or whatever. Cost is $15 for one table, 2 tables for $25. We're looking to get we'll get some food vendors out there, and that should be a fun event. And just to finish it up, a couple things that happened today. The roof replacement project at 3 Arches began today.
Oh, nice.
And the hockey rink opened today.
Great.
I don't think everybody saw it, so looks good. And that's what I have.
Can we, thank you. I was going to tell fireworks.
yes.
Forgot the most important thing on the 17th, fireworks.
Yeah.
Around 8:30, I think. 8:30ish. Do not forget that.
Yeah. Parking on the fields.
Parking on the fields.
I'll go last. Go ahead. You got any questions or
No, I don't have anything though.
Okay.
Mr. Galloway?
No, all good, thank you.
I just one comment really, and I want to just talk about, but it was a long time coming. But the nets, they look great at Levittown Continental. I know there was a lot of concerns with the
Yes,
residents,
came
some of
out
the
well.
residents living behind there, and I know because my son's, my middle son plays there, so there's a lot of balls flying, but the nets looked great, and it seems to be doing its job.
Good. It keeps the homes from the balls flying up the hill. So
Yeah, and
they're
the
happy
kids in
about
the
that too.
backyards, yeah.
And you save some baseballs that way too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, nobody gets hurt.
yep,
But
exactly.
no, I appreciate your help.
Oh, your
Thank
problem. No problem.
you.
All right.
Yeah. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Have a good night.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Thank you. Item number 13, consider escrow release requests. Mr. Takita,
There are no escrow release requests tonight.
was that?
There are no requests
There was no
tonight.
request. Item 14 is appointments of various boards, councils, committees, and commissions. I don't have any.
I don't have any.
None.
Item 15, minutes for July. Excellent minutes, as always, Mrs. Pullen. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Nope.
Nothing.
Is there a motion to approve, motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 16 is the engineer's report.
Thank you, Mr. Boraski. I believe everyone has a copy of the engineer's report, so I'll just try to go through this quickly, touch on the projects that require some updating. We had 2 new earth disturbance applications this month, both for residential pools, and we had no new applications for land development, cell towers, or floodplain applications. The items in red, I will go through quickly and just provide some brief updates. For the land development projects, we have KA at Fairless Hills. Utility improvements and paving are underway. The Wawa building contractor will be on site in the near future to begin constructions of the store and the fueling stations. Next, we have North Point Phase 1, Building 1. Earth moving and demolition work are ongoing. We expect construction plans to be submitted to our office soon, and we'll schedule a pre-construction meeting to follow, which should be sometime this month. Next, Lincoln Storage, construction of the building foundation, steel framing, earthwork, and retaining wall excavation are ongoing. Contractor here is working with TOPA to connect the adjoining motel to the public sewer system to solve that issue. And that sewer was just constructed by the applicant, so that's how they're moving forward with that. For North Point Phase 1, Building 3, construction is ongoing, which includes the building foundation slab, steel framing, and utility work. Raising Cane's, construction continues. They're wrapping up, they're finishing the interior, and they're planning to have their grand opening in September. North Point Phase 2, which is buildings 4, 5, and 6. We anticipate construction plans to be submitted in the near future, hopefully with construction starting in the next few months. Donja Tract, plans were recommended for approval by the Planning Commission in July, and we expect this project to come before the board in September. And for 3 GCM Realty, plans were recommended for conditional use approval by the Planning Commission in July, and we also expect this to be before the board in September. Moving on to the earth disturbance projects, the Miller Residence retaining wall. This earth disturbance permit was issued, pre-construction meeting was held. We were supposed to be notified prior to construction beginning, but it appears that the wall was completed without being notified, so we're planning to inspect it over time to make sure that it was constructed to our satisfaction. Alliance Joffrey Venture at 2 Joffrey Drive. Plans were submitted for review, and we worked with the applicant's engineer. We believe we came up with a solution that adequately addresses the site's runoff conditions. So at this time, the applicant's engineer is currently revising the stormwater management design. For Snipes Farm, this rain garden construction is complete, and this is ready for CO. And then we had 2 pools that were submitted and approved, 2 residential pools. On to the township projects. We did cover the Rice Drive Culvert being re-advertised. The 2024 and 2029 road improvement program, we're making good progress on the survey, utility investigation, and the overall stormwater analysis. And then finally on our list, we have the Falls Township Municipal building renovation. So we had the base survey redone. We actually just received the base plan from our subconsultant. We're making progress and finalized the site improvements plan, but we'll be confirming the scope with the architect next week. And then I do have one additional item to report for Mr. Palmer.
This is the New Falls Road Historic Fallsington retaining walls. So Joe met with a contractor, and they're working on a price for repairing the walls. They're also making a recommendation for specialized contractors that focus more on this specific type of work. They just want to make sure that the repair that's going to be done isn't going to further damage anything. So they are working on some pricing for that. And that concludes my report. If there are any questions, I would be happy to take them.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
No questions.
No questions. And I have no questions. Any questions from anyone here tonight? Is there a motion to accept the engineer's report?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 17 is the bill list. Mr. Takita, do you have the bills narrative you can go over?
Yes.
Thank you.
The August bill list totals $2,426,890.68. Of that amount, $1,259,446.35 is payroll and benefits. The remaining $1,167,444.33 includes, among other items, township-wide insurance policies, legal and engineering fees, utilities, and the purchase of two 2022 Ford Escapes for the Detective Division in the Police Department.
Any questions regarding the bill list?
No questions.
No questions.
I don't have to ask for questions from the, anybody have any questions? I don't know if we put the bill list out there. We do. Oh, we do. Okay, great. Okay, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 18, we will report on the executive session. Item number 19 is the police department report. There's no one here. Item 20, manager comment.
No manager comment.
No manager comment, okay. Item 21, board comment. Mr. Galloway.
No comment tonight.
Okay. Mr. Palmer.
No comment.
And I was just going to talk about the touch a truck and our family weekend, but Mr. Andrews covered that. We're pretty excited that we do have, it is combining this year as it's definitely a first, and it should be, it'll be a busy weekend. Mr. Andrews, right? Yep, but we should have a good time. Starts Friday night, so I hope to see all the residents out there in September. Starts on the 16th, Friday the 16th. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.